A Laurel County man is now pleading guilty to federal drug trafficking and weapons charges. 54-year-old Scotty Shelton was facing several charges, including possession and intent to distribute 500 or more grams of a substance containing meth. Shelton was indicted in August and originally faced a third charge of possessing an unregistered destructive device, but his plea deal dropped that charge. Federal agents found thousands of pills, a kilogram of meth, and more than 70 guns at his home. Investigators also found a human bone and what was described as a torture chamber. Shelton is facing 10 years to life in prison.